Okay, welcome back to the revision series, maths again. Fractions, multiplied by fractions today. I have made a few more fractions videos, but it's a sticking point for lots of people. Today is going to be a nice easy one. It's a sunny day. Lottie's ready, aren't you lots? And we're going to go through something that is going to be so simple. Once you crack it, it's easy marks every single time. And it's when we're multiplying fractions by fractions. As you can see on the screen, fractions in general can be really complicated. I totally understand that. We spend weeks every year learning about it at the end of primary school into secondary school. It's a almost strangely big part of the curriculum. Overall, it can be complicated. These aren't. We're not going to make it complicated either. The questions, multiplying fractions by fractions, it will mostly help you in arithmetic, but you will sometimes find them in word problems or reasoning papers. It's just a good one to know. My annoying cue phrase is, these are the easy ones. As soon as you see a fraction, multiply by a fraction, you think to yourself, these are the easy ones, you get the marks and you move on. I do want to, not to slow down the process too much, but I do actually want to go through multiplying in general really quickly, just to show you why this works before I show you the simple method. So 4 times 4 is 16, because we know our times tables. If we multiply 4 by something slightly smaller, 4 times 2, we get a smaller answer. And again, if we multiply 4 by 1, we get an even smaller answer, which is 4. And then logical progression, if we multiply 4 by something that's actually less than 1, we're going to get less than our starting answer. It's going to end up being less than 4. So 4 multiplied by a half, 4 halves all stuck together, is going to be 2. So that's going to help us to understand why when we multiply a fraction by a fraction, our answer is going to be smaller than what we started with, because we're actually multiplying by something less than 1. If we understand the background of it by using a progression like this, where we multiply by progressively smaller numbers until they're less than 1, and we see that it becomes less than our starting number, we can understand why this works. Having a look then at my picture of a half over here. If we had a half times by a half, it actually means the same thing as a half of a half. So if I just cut that, and we're only talking about 1/2 of the half, we now have 1/4. And actually the method for multiplying fractions by fractions is, look at the numerators, 1 times 1 is 1. Look at the denominators, 2 times 2 is 4. And that gives you 1/4. So hopefully that gives you the understanding of why that works. We're multiplying a number by less than 1, so we're going to end up with something smaller than what we began with. And you can see it in the picture there. Half times a half is the same as half of a half. And that makes 1/4. And then it doesn't get any harder than that, really. All we need to do is remember that we are multiplying the numerators together and the denominators together. So imagine almost just separate out the fractions. Just think about what's on top and what's on the bottom there. 1 times 1, 1. 2 times 2, 4. Give it a tick, move on with your life. 1 times 1, so we've got 1/4 here, multiplied by 1/8. Again, 1 times 1 is 1, and 4 times 8 is 32. 1 over 32, or 1/32th, is smaller than what we started with, because like we said before, we're multiplying by something that's less than 1. Last couple of examples. Even if they're not unit fractions, so a unit fraction has a numerator of 1, 1/2, 1/3, 1/10, whatever. Even if they're not unit fractions, it doesn't change. All we're doing is we're multiplying the numerators, multiplying the denominators, simplify if you can. So just pick some random numbers here. 3 times 2, numerator times numerator is 6. 4 times 7, denominator times denominator is 28. And then if we want to simplify, remember we can do two things. We can either try and divide both things by the numerator, so divide them both by 6, which we can't do here, or we can just halve them, see if we can keep doing that. So I can halve 6, to make 3. I can halve 28 to make 14. Can I do that again? Can I divide it by anything? I can't divide it by 3, and I can't halve it again, so I'll just leave it at 3/14. We have another one here from a 2018 SATs paper, Key Stage 2. Again, don't overcomplicate it. Don't start changing denominators or anything like that. Just read those top bits. Read the bottom bit. 4 times 3 is 12. 6 times 5 is 30. That would get you the mark. as it is, but can we do anything with that? Well, maybe we want to halve it if we can't think of anything else to do. 6/15. We can't divide both by 6, but we can divide both by 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 2/5 would be the final answer, which you would get right. Well done, me. But you would get a mark for 12/30. It doesn't need to be shown in its most simple form. That is it. That's it for multiplying fractions by fractions. I don't want to spend very much time on it because I don't want to overcomplicate it. It's something we can get easy marks for, and it's just something in fractions that is refreshingly nice, easy, and we don't need to use up too much brain power on. So, multiply the numerator by the numerator, the top line bit of the fractions. Multiply the denominator by the denominator, the bottom half of the fractions. Simplify if needed. Simplify if you can, and you're done. Move on with your life. Move on with the other really enjoyable fractions questions. Hopefully that was helpful. Nice, simple one today for a Sunday morning. If you've got anything else you'd like me to do, let me know. Drop me an email. You can go to the website, or you can maybe drop a comment on the YouTube video. Give it a like as well, and I'll be back with some more probably harder fraction stuff very soon. Ciao.